explosive second quarter to lead at 42-7 at the half. Coming up next on the show, Tom and I will be joined in the studio by this week's player guests. First up, we'll talk with a certain Nebraska quarterback who enjoyed his best day as a Husker, Scott Frost. Being the starting quarterback can be intense at Nebraska. Just ask our first guest. To say the least, the 1996 has been a memorable one for Scott Frost. And I think it's safe to say that the Kansas game is one that he won't forget. With 289 yards in total offense, it was easily his best day as a Husker. And he gets to cap his performance by joining us on the show this week. Scott, you're 12 of 16 passing, 254 yards through the air. How important was this game for you, and what will it do for you the rest of the year?
I think it was a big game for me. It was a big game for the whole offense. It was a real confidence booster for us, and we feel like we have the talent to play really well, and we've kind of been underachieving so far this year, so it was good to get out and play that well.
I think a lot of the fans watching this don't realize that this is pre-recorded, and this is, what, about 12:30 a.m.?
Yeah.
So I appreciate you guys being willing to come down here. And did you take a nap, or did you just stay up?
No, I was too excited about being on the show, Coach. I couldn't get to sleep.
Yeah, you just couldn't wait to get here.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, you know, Scott, you've had a good season and played very well, and I realize you're under a lot of scrutiny. I think it's a little bit like when I followed Bob Devaney for a while. Everybody made comparisons, but have you been able to block a lot of that out and just concentrate on playing well and being yourself?
I have, especially lately. I think I learned a big lesson the first 2 weeks about not paying attention to what people are saying, and since then I've been able to kind of go ahead with it and just worry about how I played.
Well, you've really done well. I've been pleased with the way you've handled the pressure, because you know, it's not easy when people are talking about you and comparing you and one thing and another, and you kind of have to develop a little bit of tunnel vision, and apparently you've been successful in doing that, so we appreciate that.
Which was tougher, to go through some of the problems that, I guess, the scrutiny you've gone through this year, or that year when you had to sit out of football?
Well, they're both tough. I definitely would rather be doing what I'm doing this year. You know, I'd rather lose 3 or 4 games than have to sit out and not play, just like being on the field.
You got beat around a little bit by the scout team, too.
Yeah, I did. I got my share of fights with Christian and Jason.
Christian, Peter, and Jason grabbing you by the throat every night.
Yeah.
So this is a little bit easier. But
let that happen with your quarterbacks?
Well, sometimes, you know, you can't protect them forever, and it does toughen them up.
They kind of turned their back on that scout team, too, I can tell you that.
But you ran better tonight. Did you feel like you were kind of cutting loose a little bit?
Yeah, I felt more full speed tonight. I felt like I was more aggressive coming down the line, and you know, watching the films in the last few weeks, I think I needed to do that, and it made a big difference tonight. Yeah,
well, I thought your options were really good. Your throwing was excellent, and got some nice catches out of receivers, too, and that doesn't hurt.
So, no, it's great. It's great.
Yeah.
It seemed like everything was in sync tonight for the offense.
Well, it was one of those nights, so we'll
need more like that.
Yeah, we'll plan on it, too. Yeah, we'll play well. Well, Scott, thanks for coming down, and
you bet.
Go home, get a little sleep, and we'll wind up and try her again next week.
I got to let the excitement of the show wear off first.
Yeah, a lot of people never get over this.
That's true.
Well, if you're good, you know, we may have you back sometime.
Can't wait.
That's something to look forward to.
You bet.
That's Nebraska quarterback Scott Frost.